Throughout my journey as an artist, I've tried countless number of things, and I've taken inspiration from all across different things, like shogun movies, animes like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z, isekai manga, and so much more. In this video, I will dive down through 6 truths that I've learned throughout the years that you must accept in order to become a better artist. Truth number 1. You're not going to become a master overnight. There is always going to be a gap between your expectations and the reality of your skills when you practice a skill or hobby. There really isn't a single artist on the planet that has mastered their skills within just a day or even a year, without spending countless hours every single day to improve their skills to be where they are today. So it's really important to just focus on developing your skills as a beginner than to focus on creating your next project a masterpiece. What all professional artists have in common is that they have a wisdom for accepting the difference between expectations and reality. When it comes to art, not all artwork you will create, even as a professional artist, is going to turn out the way that you wanted. So it's really important to know when to feel discouraged and when not to. So just focus on improving your skills rather than creating a masterpiece overnight. Truth number 2. There's no right way to be an artist. You need to officially break up the stereotypical portrait of an artist's life. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of novels, shows, and movies that romanticize the artist's life. With the right balance of struggle and fame, artists' lives are often idealized, and it can be tempting to want to embody the whole package. But how many people set out to actually make the work at hand? If all the attention, awards, and esteem were stripped away, how many people would still be there, making work day in and day out, just because they needed to do it? You're going to need this drive to create, if you want to create meaningful work, because the days are long and the obstacles are plenty, and you need to be motivated by the process itself and not all of the peripheral benefits to have long-term success. While you're at it, break up with the stereotype of the scattered genius artist as well. You need to be organized to execute your vision. Real, meaningful work, the kind people care about, comes from thought-out intention. The third truth: the blame game will only get you so far. It's so tempting to shift the blame for the troubles we face. If only society placed more value on art. If only that customer understood original art prices. If only that juror looked at my art a second time. If only that gallery had advertised me more. If only art school didn't cost so much. If only I had more time, more money for supplies, my own studio, etc., etc. We grasp for any circumstances that let us justify our current position, when the truth is, you can always find a way to be making. It might not be exactly what you want to be making now, but it is something. Do you have a right to be upset by these hardships? Maybe. Life is really, really hard and often unfair. But should you sit back and fold your hands because of it? It's much easier than admitting to yourself that you could be working harder or taking more opportunities. It's a difficult pill to swallow, that you're often really the only one standing in your way of your success. Justification isn't going to change your circumstances, and neither is anyone else. Successful artists don't let their current circumstances dictate where they go in life. It's a hard truth to accept, but life-changing once you do. As an artist, you are the boss. The only way things will get done is if you do them. And if you want to get ahead as an artist, you are going to have to take chances. Sometimes it's the only way to find success or happiness you crave. At some point, you have to learn how to not only accept risk as a part of life, but embrace it. Factor in the risk of doing nothing. Are you happy with where you are in your career? Or does that scare you to death? Truth number 4. It doesn't get easier, but you get more resilient. Many artists make the mistake of thinking that with enough hard work and time, everything will fall into place. That with a certain level of success, suddenly all of their problems will cease to exist. What they haven't realized yet? Success creates new and different problems. Plus, there's always going to be more work to do to keep up with your newfound success. Even if you had every single aspect of your art career figured out, life will find a way to test you. Problems you won't see coming, things you can't solve no matter how hard you work, illness, natural disaster, divorce, etc. Life is tricky like that. It sneaks up on you when you least expect it. We get so caught up in how things should be that we forget how things really are. But it's an excuse, a lie we tell ourselves because deep down, we know what the world really is. It's big and scary and often unfair. The problems won't stay away if we hide. The world is not perfect. It never will be. And if you wait for it to change, you'll be waiting forever. Accepting these truths will help you accept and face challenges head-on. There will be difficult situations as an artist, but you will tackle them because you are strong. Remember that, however small, there's a satisfaction to be had in not giving up, in looking back and realizing how you handled the hardships with strength and grace, in knowing that you can do it again when the time comes. Truth number 5. There's never a perfect time to start. Does it ever feel like whenever you're about to take a step into your studio to paint or draw, you get a feeling that maybe it might be fine if you take a few minutes break as you would have a better chance to succeed? Do you get the catch? There's always going to be some reason why you can't start today. Remember how eager life is to throw problems at you? How the grind never really stops? How the world is never going to be a perfect place? The truth of the matter is, you are scared to get started because you're scared of the possibility of failing. Successful artists all face this same problem. The difference is, they start anyway. They don't frame things around not enough. There's never enough time. Not enough money, not enough confidence, not enough of whatever it is at that moment to make you do what you need to do to be a successful artist. If they don't know where to start, they do some digging and make a plan. They complete the tiniest of tasks because they know it's the only way to set things in motion. And if something isn't working, they graciously give themselves permission to change course. After all, it's only failing if you don't learn, right? If you want to be a successful artist, you have to show up. And truth number 6, perfection is the enemy of progress. It can be difficult when you first start out to accept the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You probably have a vision for your work, but you feel that your skills just aren't taking you there yet. There's a reason they say the first step is always the hardest. It's really important to not spend so much time dwelling on a problem that you forget to look for a solution. True satisfaction with your work cannot be found through external validation. Money, fame, glowing reviews, Instagram followers, sales, a big gallery show. Have you ever noticed how the things we chase in life come and go so easily? Of course, these things can make our day-to-day lives a whole lot easier, and they provide us with joy at the time. But it's funny, as soon as we don't have these things in our lives anymore, the joy is replaced with worry about how to get our hands on these things again as soon as possible. External things like validation, the things that are dependent on others, don't last forever. That's why happiness, true contentment, has to come from within, and from within your own satisfaction with your work. In a world that's constantly challenging you, happiness comes from within. It's a confidence that things will be okay no matter what's happening. There's a need as an artist to develop a deep-rooted resilience and a humble satisfaction with yourself and your work. When you come to trust your vision and in the work that you do, there's a magic that happens. This creates a feeling that reminds you that it's just a bad day, not a bad career, and you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way. In the end, Nothing should stop you from living the life you want. Like the old saying goes, nobody said it would be easy. They only said it would be worth it.